Hey guys, thanks for stopping in again. Grant Davis, GDI Insurance Agency. Hey, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's happening in the coming year because I don't know if anyone else is saying it, so I'll be the unpopular guy just to tell you exactly what I know and what I think is happening. So number one, I want to talk about employee benefits, group health insurance. We're working on our renewals for after the first of the year already. We've been working on them since October, working with our clients because here's the deal. Health insurance rates in California, we're seeing groups go up as much as 30 to 60%. 30 to 60%. So we've been helping people adopt HSAs, working on other alternatives to keep those costs down and the coverage good. So an HSA is a good alternative. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to bring up workman's compensation today. Workman's compensation, the Workman's Comp Rating Bureau for January 1st suggests a 22% rate increase. Yep. In addition to that, they've changed the math on how we calculate modification premiums. So if you have a $100,000 premium, if you have fewer than expected claims, you might be able to pay 80, 90, or 70%, 70,000 instead of 100. But if you have too many claims, it can go the other way, 170%. I've seen them as high as 400 or 500% where people are going out of business because their workman's comp got nutty because of their claims. Here's the deal. It's based on a very complicated mathematical formula with weights, checks, and balances. I'm a simple guy, 2 + 2 = 4. Unfortunately, because I'm an insurance broker, I got to learn this math. I know it like the back of my hand. When you take the changes that they've made in the math, particularly as it deals with primary claims, the average California employer is getting a 12% rate increase as their premium mods go up 12% on average based on the new calculation and the new math. It's very important for you to understand that that's already happening in addition to the rate increases. Now, why are the rates increasing? A couple years ago, rates got cut in half based on promises of reform. Here's the deal. It's just like risk management. It has to work. So I can come in year one with our clients, and our goal is to help you reduce your claims, number and size of claims, and we have these great plans. But in 2 or 3 years, if our plans don't work, if they don't actually work, then they were useless, and I can't get your rate relief. The good news is, knock on wood, our plans typically do work because we'll adjust them as we go. But what happened is when the governor got elected based on lowering workman's comp, he had great plans, but he didn't deal with the tort reform. Here's the deal. You can't take away, unfortunately, I don't know if it is unfortunate. I said unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the way it hits the rates, but you can't take away people's rights. So you can't just decide that you're not going to allow somebody to sue or make a decision that we're not going to allow this or that and then expect the courts to uphold that. And that's what happened. So over the last couple of years, a lot of these things have been challenged in court and they've lost. So add that with poor investment returns. We've seen the tragedy that is the stock market. Well, that's where insurance companies make a lot of their money. So you add that all together, workman's comp, I'm going to be the first to tell you this, in the next 2 years, if you're paying $10,000, I'm going to tell you, be prepared to pay $20,000 to $25,000. If you're paying $100,000, be prepared to pay $200,000 to $250,000. That's right, within 24 months, plus or minus a little bit. But I'm pretty sure from everything I've read, that's what's happening. So what can you do? Let us help you. There's only some things you can do. So I'm working right now with a contractor whose mod, it's a brand new client. I'm looking at their mod history. It's been hanging around 100. A year ago, it goes to 115. The reason they're talking to us now just hit 146, and no one ever gave them a heads up or even looked at it because their insurance broker, I'm going to pick on their insurance broker right now, all they were doing is at renewal time, they were rushing out to get to the 5 or 6 markets that had the lowest rates. I'm like, what good does it do you to save 10% on your premium when you're paying 56% more? At 146, a good mod for a construction company starts at 90. So if they're paying 146, they're paying 56% more than most of my construction clients are paying on their mod. Now let me ask you, how competitive are they going to be? That's cost of labor. And when you're building, that's the most expensive deal. So what you can do, though, is a good HR, not just safety. You don't start with safety. Human resource, wellness programs, and great employee benefits, and teach your employees how to use that. We give that all to you, by the way. You don't have to do it or pay for it. We just let us be your broker. We give that all to you. And then we move on to OSHA compliance safety, your IIP, illness and injury prevention programs, all your OSHA training and everything. And we do it by first examining the claims you've had, and let's fix it. If people are cutting off their digits, let's put a program in. Let's remove the word accident from the vocabulary and have a process and design for everything. We do all of that for you for free. We give you all the tools. The reason we can do all of that and do so much more is we are the most automated insurance broker I am aware of. And by the way, I teach brokers across the country, the U.S., Canada. I have some in my group that are all the way in Spain and other countries. And when we teach insurance and I find out about what they're doing, I have yet to find anyone as automated as we are. Completely paperless, and our delivery to you of these solutions is paperless. Although we give them to you in Word so you can edit them, but it's all based on the internet and complete transparency and getting it to you. Anyway, Workman's Comp, you got to take some action. You can't just look at it each year. What's your 5-year plan? Here's a hint. If you're talking to your insurance broker and it's renewal time, and he doesn't ask you or mention your 5 and 10 year Workman's Comp plan, premium credits, quarterly claims review, safety programs that start with HR, not with safety, start with human resource, wellness, benefits, then safety. Run, don't walk. I know they're probably your high school friend or someone you've been doing business with for 3 generations, and I only can say to you, they're not keeping up with the state of the art. The state of the art is let's manage your claims so you have fewer, smaller claims in Workman's Comp. By the way, we can double dip this stuff. You've got a fleet of vehicles, 50, 60 cars. Anything over 5 is a fleet for insurance. Hey, we put a fleet safety policy in. Guess what? You get a 15% credit on your auto fleet, 15 points. And that's with your existing insurance company, too. A lot of people think, oh, gee, I got to change insurance. No. GDI, go to your existing insurance company, because if your company has filed with the Department of Insurance to give credits for a compliant fleet safety policy, and we give you one, guess what they got to do? They got to give you those credits. Yeah, even your existing insurance company. So sometimes you don't even have to change companies to get better rates. Let's maximize their deal first, the company you're with, and then see if we can improve on it, right? That's really the ticket. So anyway, I'm sorry to bounce around so much on you. Workman's Comp is going to be a big issue if you don't get control of it. If you don't know how to get control of it, call GDI, call me, Grant Davis, or call one of my GDI brokers, and we'll show you how to get control of it. It starts by we do a projection of what your mod's going to be next year, what it's going to be in 2 years, where you're heading in 3 years, what do we need to do to correct the trends, and how do we need to act. And we're going to use compliant material, so you're not only going to fix your problems, you're going to be OSHA compliant, and you're going to be compliant across the board with all the things you need to be to stand those inspections and such, and also care for your employees. I'm sorry I'm taking too long, but thank you so much for checking out this new video.